Well, a deal today announced, another deal between the UK and France when it comes to tackling illegal migration. But is this all a complete waste of time, this deal? Because if you look back a year ago, nearly a year ago to the day, the 16th of November 2021, this is the joint statement that went out from the Home Secretary, then Home Secretary Priti Patel, and France's Interior Minister. And I wrote about this, by the way, today on Hiva News. I'll put a link to the article down below, my article today on all of this. And the statement, the joint statement at the time, as I said, about a year ago, both the Home Secretary and the Interior Minister, it read, agreed to strengthen operational cooperation further. More must be done, they said, to stop the dangerous crossings. They agreed to accelerate the delivery of the commitments made in the joint agreement of July 2021 to deliver on their joint determination to prevent 100% of crossings and make this deadly route unviable. So that was about a year ago. What have we seen this weekend? Well, on Saturday, it was 972 people on 22 boats. That was followed yesterday, on Sunday, by a further 853 people on 26 boats. So as I highlighted with Hiva News today, it's all well and good talking about that joint determination to prevent 100% of crossings from the UK and France. That was a year ago. This weekend alone, we saw close to 2,000 people on 48 boats cross in 2 days. So you really do have to start questioning what value another deal with the French actually has here. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, this seems to be his big hope. He's pinning his hopes on stopping illegal migration on this deal with France. This is what he had to say today.
I said last week that gripping illegal migration was an absolute priority for me. It's a thing I've spent most of my time on outside of the economy since I became Prime Minister. And I've also said, though, it's not an easy problem that you can solve with a single policy overnight. And that's why we need to work on lots of different things. I prioritised working with the French at the heart of that, because without their cooperation, it's hard for us to solve this problem. I spoke to President Macron about it. When I first spoke to him, I further met with him and we went over it in more detail, and I'm pleased that as a result of that dialogue we now have a new deal with the French, which is going to mean 40% more patrols happening in France, and for the first time our officials embedded in their operations. That is going to make a difference, and hopefully people can see that that's the fruits of the work that I've been talking about, but there's more to come and people should know that.
My question was, can you guarantee that the numbers will fall next year?
No, I'm confident that we can get the numbers down, but I also want to be honest with people that it isn't a single thing that will magically solve this. We can't do it overnight, but people should be absolutely reassured that this is a top priority for me. I'm gripping it, and as I've said, in the time that I've been Prime Minister, you're already starting to see some progress with this deal with the French, but that's just a start. There's lots more that we need to do.
Of course, the great irony is with all of this, in some respects, is that Home Secretary Suella Braverman, who signed this agreement today with the French and talked it up and said it involves UK officers embedded in French operations, a 40% increase in French officers patrolling, she herself, of course, had actually said that the only real way to stop this, to stop the boats, is to leave the ECHR. Absolutely no sign of that happening. Absolutely no sign of the Rwanda policy ever happening. So, look, I think pinning your hopes on illegal immigration being stopped by deals with the French, I just don't think it's going to make the impact that some in government are suggesting today. Ultimately, we need to leave the ECHR, as Suella Braverman, the now Home Secretary, has previously made clear before. And I know that I've played this clip a few times, but I just think it is really worth highlighting what Suella Braverman, now the Home Secretary, has actually said is the real solution to stopping the boats.
That if we are serious about completing the Brexit promises, if we are serious about taking back control of our borders, then there is no alternative but for the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights and permanently exclude the jurisdiction of the European Court of Human Rights.